The Coca-Cola 600, NASCAR's longest race, a crown jewel right in most of the teams and even some of the drivers' backyards. I am now joined by Ryan Stevens, analytical expert from wintherace.info. Let's talk 600 miles, Ryan. It's been a couple weeks. We're throwing you right back into the deep end. I come into this weekend looking for narratives, and there are a few potentially future Hall of Fame drivers who have not won the Coca-Cola 600. Chief among them is Joey Logano. Now, Joey Logano, if he retired yesterday, would be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, but he's still missing that 600 trophy from his shelf. Chase Elliott, his teammate William Byron, some young Hendrick drivers who've already been extremely successful, but have never won the Coca-Cola 600, I should say. So of that group, Ryan, I want to start there. Who's the top star driver who might be able to add that 600 trophy to their resume this weekend?
This is fun to talk about. I think William Byron is the most exciting of that group of the drivers you just mentioned. Again, hometown race, so you got that narrative there. Pulling double duty, driving the 17 HMS Chevy in the Xfinity Series on Saturday. But if we look, beyond that, the numbers in 2025, he's been a stud in this intermediate package. He's got the third best true average running position and the second best average finish. So he's running up there, but he's also getting the finishes as well, which is, super important. And he has here at Charlotte. When we simulated this race 20,000 times at Win the Race, Kyle Larson is the only one that came out ahead of him in win probability. So I'm excited to see what Byron can do this weekend.
And speaking of narratives, it is a big weekend for Kyle Larson, obviously running the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 in the same day, looking to become just the second driver ever, first since Tony Stewart more than 20 years ago, to complete all 1,100 miles. Last year, while Larson did not get to run the 600, his car did, and Justin Allgaier made it look pretty darn fast, drove from the rear of the field up to 13th before the rain came. I looked this stat up for you, Ryan. Look, I brought a stat this week. It's a very basic stat,
Nice.
not nearly as analytical as many of yours are, but Larson this season at intermediate tracks has led 391 laps, which is more than anyone else has led at all tracks all season long. So you just said Larson comes out first in your rankings. What more can you say about Larson's chances of winning the 600?
Yeah, he's just been incredible. I mean, at Win the Race, we do something called True Performance. It's basically just like a deep dive analysis of speed and performance after each race, like an updated version of driver rating, really. And Larson's average true performance is over 3 points higher than anyone else in this package, which is a pretty big gap when you pull up those charts and look at it. His fast lap percentage is over 15%, which is more than 4% higher than the next best driver, Ryan Blaney. So, yeah, he's just been an absolute stud.
Does not surprise me one bit. Did we learn anything at Kansas or Texas? Before the All-Star race, we had a couple of mile and a halfs back to back. We saw Joey Logano get a win. Larson, of course, winning Kansas. I thought Ryan Blaney was noteworthy, getting a couple of top five finishes. I know different surfaces, different degrees of banking, but they are all mile and a half ovals like Charlotte. Is there anything we can take away from those races?
Yeah, I feel like Blaney is due for a win here. And why not here? I mean, he dominated everyone here in 2023. I mentioned he's behind only Larson in fast lap percentage in this package in 2025. And when I ran our true performance scores for Kansas, which is our most recent, intermediate that we've seen them on, he was right behind Larson in true performance at that race. So I think he's right there. Another driver I'd like to mention here who doesn't really have the speed stats so far this year like Larson and Blaney, but that's our winner from last year, Chris Bell. It seems like JGR is waking up a little bit from their early season slow start in this package, emphasis on slow, because that's kind of how they've been in this so far. But, Kansas was only 2 weeks ago, and we had Larson, Blaney, and then Bell right behind them in the true performance scores. That's a track that he notoriously qualifies well at, winning all those poles at Kansas, then qualified well there a couple weeks ago. But now we come to Charlotte. It's another track where he qualifies insanely good. And he's going off late in qualifying. So I expect him to probably be starting right up front again with good track position. And if JGR can figure it out, what better place to do it on a 1.5 like Charlotte for the Coke 600?
Absolutely. Yeah, Christopher Bell bringing in some momentum. Yeah, you're right. I guess Hamlin won Darlington thanks to a clutch pit stop, but I don't think Gibbs has a win on a traditional intermediate track this season outside of there. So yeah, this could be a huge weekend for them to get on the stat sheet. I love the Coca-Cola 600 not only because it's Memorial Day weekend, there's all the pageantry, the tributes, but it's also been the place of some historic moments in the sport, like Jeff Gordon, or my favorite driver, Matt Kenseth, won their first cup races in the Coca-Cola 600. We've seen some surprise winners in the past couple of decades, like Casey Mears got his one and only cup win at Charlotte in the 600 18 years ago. David Rudiman, remember when David Rudiman shocked the world in 2009? I look at some young drivers in the field this year. Last season, Ty Gibbs led 74 laps in this race. He's kind of turned things around a bit after his sluggish start to the year. Carson Hocevar, we've talked a lot about him on this show this year because he won the pole at Texas a couple weeks ago, similar mile and a half. Are there any younger drivers or maybe just surprise performers that you think fans should keep an eye on this weekend?
Yeah, man, it was funny to read some of the comments about my long shot pick of Hocevar at Texas, but he qualified in the pole. He ran the fastest lap of the race, and before disaster struck, was running an okay race. I still wondered what would have happened if he took two tires on that first pit stop, but we'll never know. We'll never know. But this is probably my favorite question you ask every week, trying to kind of dive deep and find a surprise winner. I think for this week, my surprise winner is going to be someone who was already a surprise winner in 2025, and I'm going to go with Josh Berry. He's got one cup start here last year with Stuart Haas, qualified 13th, finished 10th. And although it was a shortened race, he actually finished both stages inside the top 10. So he was running up front nearly the whole race. And this team that he's on now in 2025 with this Penske Alliance, they're much stronger in intermediates than SHR was last year. Much, much stronger. Here's the drivers ahead of him in true average running position on intermediates in 2025. Larson is a NASCAR champion. Byron makes the championship 4. Blaney, NASCAR champion. Reddick, championship 4. Bowman, perennial playoff driver. And Denny Hamlin, Hall of Famer. So those are the guys that are ahead of him in this package. I mean, he's up there with the best names in the game right now. And it's not a fluke. He has the 8th best incident adjusted speed in this package in 2025. So it's not really strategy based or luck based or anything like that. He's just fast. So, another funny thing that I saw here, and who knows if this is predictable or not, but it's just a good thing to drop here. He won in Vegas in 2022 in Xfinity. And guess where else he dominated in 2022 in Xfinity and won? Charlotte. So if there's anything that we've known from Barry, it's that he's kind of showing up well where he's been great in Xfinity. And he was great here at Charlotte. So, or at least had one great dominant run. And just funny that it was the same year he won Vegas, comes to Cup, wins Vegas this year. I don't know. You said it's a week for narratives. Maybe this is one that's fun.
I like that. That's a good pull there at the end. Yeah, interesting trends there for Josh Berry. You mentioned another driver in there, Alex Bowman, ranking Bowman among the top 5, top 6 in true performance ranks at intermediates this year. That's a guy I have my eye on this week. He was so close to holding off Larson and winning Homestead. Another mile and a half track a few weeks back. We'll see if Josh Berry or Alex Bowman. It's been the year of the killer bees. Bell, Byron, Berry. It's been that kind of season. So lots to watch out for the Coca-Cola 600 this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Ryan Stevens, thanks for coming on the show. Folks watching at home, you can find more of Ryan's great analytical work at wintherace.info. Link is down in the video description. Ryan, it was great to catch back up with you. We'll talk to you again soon, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Everyone enjoyed the races this weekend. It's a huge, huge weekend. It should be a lot of fun. Thank you.